There we go. Okay. I'm live now, right? Yeah, I'm live now. So it took me a little bit to get set up yesterday. I still have to fix the background. I think I need to just redo how I get that stuff sorted, because right now I build everything with HTML and CSS on the fly, and I think I might have to just have an SVG or something. Because it seems like it's very resource intensive for my computer, and I would rather not be spending 20% of my CPU with on just the background for the bubbles. Wow, it was really bad. I'm recording and yeah. Okay. But yeah, just see the difference here. I'm gonna go ahead and just refresh that. And my my computer's CPU right now is at 60%. I'm gonna refresh this. Oh, here we go. 65. 70, 75, almost 80%. Yeah, that's. Oh wait, nope, 85%. Oh my god. All right. I gotta kill it. I gotta kill it. I'm sorry, everybody. I gotta kill it. Okay. So I'm gonna rewrite that so that it doesn't do this, because I kind of just threw it together. I was more so focused on style and not focused on optimization at all. But I'm gonna focus on optimization. And I'll rewrite it and I'll get it all nice and pretty. But my computer just cannot handle this mess of spaghetti code that I've created. Anyway, where was I? So I'm doing something fun today. I am playing 4 Orcish Bowmasters in my Lantern control list. So I have been looking for something that would possibly punish extra draws. I think I've stated this in the past, and I have actually played Orcish Bowmasters in lists in the past. And it's been fine. Worst case scenario is you, I don't know, kill an Ocelot Pride and chump something for a turn or two while you try to build up the resources necessary to get your lock online. And best case scenario, you can just solo a game with it. So I have been looking for ways to, punish extra draws and make Lantern a little bit more aggressive. Orcish Bowmasters might be the solution to that. I am playing 4 of these today. That is a lot of cards to be playing for a card that you don't know if it's good or not. But, we're going to test it out, see if it's any good. And I am still kind of on my traditional kick. I say traditional with heavy quotes, because I am not playing Ancient Stirrings, which is the kind of one of the big reasons for being in traditional. I went on a whole tirade about this last time in League number 52. You can go ahead and check the video for that. But I don't think that Ancient Stirrings is very good anymore. I think that Lantern has gone down on the number of artifacts that it plays, and I think the format has sped up. So you don't have time to cast Ancient Stirrings and hope for that 33% chance or whatever to find your Ensnaring Bridge. You just need to always be doing something. And Orcish Bowmasters gives Lantern Control a different angle of attack, quite literally, actually. So I'm not playing any Mishra's Baubles in this list either. I have instead added a Cling to Dust the 4th Orcish Bowmasters and the 22nd Land, which is a 3rd basic swamp. Those are now in the deck over the 3 Mishra's Baubles, or maybe even 4 Mishra's Baubles that I would have had before. But it's still pretty much a stock Lantern control list. Besides that, like, the sideboard is very much the sort of sideboard that I would like. It's basically completely ripped from the deck from last time. I'm going to go ahead and run this through a league. Maybe we'll get some wins with Orcish Bowmasters plus Urza Saga Beatdown. Let's just see what happens. And to answer your question, Josh, I have not really been seeing much mill in the leagues. I think that siding in Emrakul is a good meta call if you do have those 2 mill players at your LGS, but mill just isn't really enough of a meta concern for me to be worried about it. I would rather just take the L when I see mill and then have that 15th sideboard slot dedicated to something else. Like, I guess the 15th sideboard slot in this list would probably be the Dreams of Steel and Oil, which I could theoretically be bringing in against stuff like Blink. But it's just, it's not worth it to me to, I don't know, do the 1 or 2 matches every 20 leagues. Oh, speaking of, we've gone ahead and get started. Cats, I have fed you. All right, cat's causing problems. Barely even gotten started and cat's already causing problems. I am on the draw in match 1 versus Farfenstorfer. This is an interesting hand, but I can't keep it. I've got to mulligan those 1-landers. This is even worse. Straight to 5. Straight to 5. I will bottom an Inquisition and a Cage. And I guess we're just doing Orcish Bowmasters gaming now. That's an Urza Saga. That's pretty good. I like Urza Saga. Hopefully my opponent is just on like some weird energy start. Oh. They are on Storm. So I actually really wanted that Grafdigger's Cage. I'm going to go ahead and take the Monsoon Mage here. Kind of surprised they didn't strike it rich on the first turn. Maybe they were trying to throw off the scent. My cat's not warning me of the Ocelot Pride. My cat is the Ocelot Pride. Or maybe he's doing... maybe he's both, huh? Okay, my opponents surveilled away an Arid Mesa. They're gonna go ahead and play a basic mountain into a Reckless Impulse. And what did they hit off of that? They hit 2 lands. That's fantastic for me. I like that. So I have options here. I can play out this Lantern of Insight and then do nothing else with my turn. or I can hold open Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm going to hold open the Bowmasters. This Urza Saga is going to have to grab a Grafdigger's Cage. I think I might just be on beatdown now. As sad as that is. Okay, they're casting their Strike It Rich. And doing nothing else. Let's go ahead and hit them with this Bowmasters. Alright, I've got basic Swamp now. I think I'm going to play the Fomori Vault. And I'm just going to swing in. So the hero here needs to get something off the ground this turn. Or else I'm just going to grab the Grafdigger's Cage with my Urza Saga, and that's going to hurt quite a bit. They did surveil to top here. And that's a Ruby Medallion. That's not good. They know that they have... Okay, so they're going to bank this entire thing off of a single Glimpse the Impossible then, because they've got Glimpse the Impossible and Sacred Foundry in their hand right now. Manamorphose, Artist Talent, and Ruby Medallion. Those are some pretty good draws. They're going to go ahead and play an Artist Talent here. And they've got Manamorphose. So I know that the last card in their hand is a Sacred Foundry, which is something that they're probably going to want to get rid of. I'm going to flash in this second Orcish Bowmasters. And now they are under real pressure. They're going to be guaranteed 2 Orcish Bowmaster pings here. Oh, and they chose to get rid of the Sacred Foundry, which means that they're going to get 2 more pings. They're not all in on this Manamorphose draw, but they're pretty damn close. Ooh, they've got another Manamorphose. Yeah, these Orcish Bowmasters are chewing up this draw. Whatever this is has to win them the game right now, or else they're dead. And they hit a Reckless Impulse. They've got 2 mana floating. They have a treasure token. So they've got access to 3 mana. They need to hit an action spell here. And that is another Manamorphose. And a Mountain. Running out of action. They have to take it. Question is, are they going to loot with Artist Talent or no? Chose not to loot. Well, I'm going to continue to ping their face. The hero is at 4 life here, and they found another Glimpse the Impossible. Choosing not to loot again. Ren's Resolve, Valakut Awakening, and Desperate Ritual, which is actually a pretty decent chunk of hits. The Valakut Awakening is basically just not an option. But now they do have to just continue to hit bangers off this Ren's Resolve here. If this bricks, Wish is not a brick. It's close to a brick. They could Grape Shot here, I think. Oh, they might just be casting Wish for the looting off of the Artist Talent. But it's possible that they're just going to wish for something like, I don't know, like a Boomerang Basics or an Into the Floodmaw. And they concede the game. So I'm multi 5 here. And all I did was cast 2 Orcish Bowmasters and pressure my opponent to win in the face of an Urza Saga fetching a Grafdigger's Cage. And that was good enough. Now, in their defense, their draws lined up very poorly against this. But still, that looked pretty dang good. So how do I want to be managing this? Ensnaring Bridges can come out completely. I have ways to handle what they're doing without Ensnaring Bridge. What can come in? Duress. Dreams of Steel and Oil, maybe. Ashiok definitely can come in. I think the Underworld Cookbook comes out. And I could bring in another Assassin's Trophy. Am I going to do that or am I not? I think I can bring in a trophy over a Pithing Needle. Okay, this looks pretty good. The hero is on the play here. And I have a hand that just does a ton of shredding and can also grab a Grafdigger's Cage relatively quickly. I think this is good. I am going to lead on Inquisition of Kozilek here. And I think I'll do it off of basic Swamp. Let's go ahead and shred the hero's hand. Take whatever I can. Wow, you kept this? My brother in Christ, this is 5 lands. Let's go ahead and take your Reckless Impulse. All right, Elegant Parlor is going to come down. They kept it on top, so it could be something good here. And it is something good. That's a Rao Monsoon Mage. All right, well, let's go ahead and Inquisition you again. Take that Glimpse the Impossible. And I think I am going to drop Urza Saga. And I think I also will drop Lantern of Insight. My opponent can't really manipulate this very much right now. Ren's Resolve is a decent hit, but I'm not convinced it's worth sacrificing my Lantern to get rid of, especially with that land on top of their deck. They're gonna hit Arid Mesa and Fire Magic, huh? Yeah, you got it. You got it. I'm gonna take a poke from this Rao. My Urza Saga is going to go up to 2. And I think I am actually going to drop a Codex Shredder here. I've got 3 discard spells in hand. I just need to control what's on top of their deck now. I think I'm actually going to be fetching that Underground Mortuary when I get a chance. Do I want to take this Prismatic Ending? I'm not convinced I do. I'm not convinced I do. I think I'm going to leave them with the Prismatic Ending. They're playing a Sunbaked Canyon. And it's Prismatic Ending on Codex Shredder, huh? Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm gonna mill your Reckless Impulse here. That's fantastic. That got rid of the prismatic ending as a problem for me. The hero's going to go ahead and draw that Reckless Impulse. Okay, that's fine. Prismatic ending gets rid of my Codex Shredder. I'm going to take another poke from this Ral. And if they choose to hold this Reckless Impulse, then I'm just going to take it with one of my 3 discard spells here. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to fetch that Underground Mortuary out of my deck now. And I don't think I want this land. Yeah, Orcish Bowmasters is just much better. Go ahead and tap this Urza's Saga for mana. I am actually going to grab Pyxis of Pandemonium here. And let's Inquisition that Reckless Impulse. Actually, do I want to Inquisition or do I want to Duress? I think I want to Inquisition. Yeah, that fire magic is just gone. Okay, and I will just drop this Orcish Bowmasters now. That's fantastic. Pyretic Ritual, I'm comfortable with them having. Oof, Arid Mesa on top of the deck here. They're playing it as their land for turn. That's probably wise. Choosing to not attack here. I think I will simply suspend this Profane Tutor and pass back. I'm not going to be attacking into this Ral. Aston Flames is a big no-no. This is one of the reasons I grabbed Pyxis instead of Codex Shredder. Grape Shot is fine. If they want to take out my Orcish Bowmasters, I'm not particularly concerned about that. And the hero just having absolute crap luck here. They chose not to use the Grape Shot. Do I want to discard that Grape Shot using my discard spells? I have 2 discard spells that I can use. Yeah, I think I want to take it. I'm going to use Inquisition of Kozilek to take it. And the hero is going to be drawing a dead draw here. They've got a Prismatic Ending on top of their deck. I think even though I'm going to be getting rid of my Grafdigger's Cage to do it, yeah, I think that was a good decision. Just didn't want them drawing the pending. Like, the Prismatic Ending was fine for them to have in the first time I let them have it, because I was just going to be... Ooh, Ashiok. Yeah, let's go ahead and play that. Now, the Prismatic Ending would have been fine for them to have the first time, because I was just going to be replacing whatever they had. But the second time, like, they could have gotten rid of a Lantern, and my Profane Tutor was going to be coming off Suspend before they would have drawn the Prismatic Ending. So I wouldn't have been able to play around it. And it just would have sucked. But anyway, we have a match win. This is thanks in no small part to Orcish Bowmasters just completely wrecking my opponent's game 1. And game 2, you know, you just keep a bunch of discard, take them off of their stuff. And I guess it doesn't really matter if they have a Ral if they don't have much stuff to, you know, do with it. So yeah, I'll take that as a win. Let's move on to match 2. I am on the play in match 2 versus Nick Damien. I do not have an Orcish Bowmasters in this hand. In fact, this hand doesn't really do much of anything. I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan. This hand, however, has Lantern and Saga, which will eventually find a Millrock. It also has an Ensnaring Bridge in it, which is not that bad. I think I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to use this Mox Opal to help me accelerate a little bit, I hope. But it's a matter of if I can play a turn 1 Urza Saga or not, I think. I can technically play turn 1 Urza Saga and have Mox Opal active if I use the Underworld Cookbook next turn. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to discard whatever I draw in order to do that. That could theoretically give me a construct on turn 2, and it would definitely give me a construct on turn 3. I think I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna do it. I want to have a little bit of fun with this hand. All right, Mox Opal is not turned on, but it could be. The hero here, Nick Damien, is deciding what they want to do with their 8 cards in hand. That's a lot of cards. Windswept Heath. Pass, huh? Okay, well, this could be a number of things. We saw a play like this last league, actually. So I could play out Lantern into Thoughtseize, and I think I will. I think I'm going to give up on the Urza Saga construct. And that is a Sowing Mycospawn. So this is probably going to be red-green Eldrazi. Yeah, I am going to Thoughtseize this opponent. Forest, Eldrazi Temple, Stomping Ground, Unholy Heat, Talisman of Impulse, Sowing Mycospawn, Emrakul the Promised End. This is a very interesting collection of cards that they have here. It's not going to do too terribly hot in the face of an Ensnaring Bridge, and I think that's what I want to start preparing for. Mox Opal is actually going to help me because it means that I'll always have a mana source, even if they exile all my lands. Dude, that is a nasty art. What on earth? Did it always look like this? Or is this just like a special thing? Like, geez. I think I'm going to take the Emrakul the Promised End, just because I don't want them sacrificing my lanterns when they go to take control of my turn. And I believe with the Unholy Heat in hand, I'm going to give up on the construct. Ugin's Labyrinth is fine if they want to keep that. They didn't. They just want a Utopia Sprawl. Yeah, I don't believe I'm going to be doing any special shenanigans against this opponent. I think I'm just going to slam Ensnaring Bridge. Utopia Sprawl is down. Forest is down. Talisman of Impulse is down. That means that their only threat in hand right now really is just Sowing Mycospawn. Yeah, I think I'm just going to tap this Urza Saga for mana. I'm not even going to make a construct. I will grab a Pyxis of Pandemonium to protect myself against, what's that card? World Breaker. And then I think I'm just going to slam Ensnaring Bridge. One good thing about my opponent's deck is they really do not have a lot of consistency. Yeah, look at that. And this Fomori Vault is going to become active at some point. I think the worst thing that they could do here to me is try and find a, what's it called? A Sanctum of Ugin off this Sowing Myco spawn, but they didn't. They just found Ghost Quarter. I don't even think I'm going to exile this Ugin Eye of the Storms. I think I'm just going to Pithing Needle it. Very grateful to have this Mox Opal. This is helping me out quite a bit right now. Mox Opal means that any mill rock that I draw will be live, regardless of if I get Ghost Quartered or Sowing Myco spawned out of the game. And this Underworld Cookbook will be able to discard anything else that I might have. Okay, let's go ahead and drop this Pithing Needle. The hero can use Ghost Quarter if they want to. I'm not naming Ghost Quarter, I'm naming Ugin, and I think they know that. So they can exile as many permanents with colors as they want. My stuff's all colorless. Ugin Eye of the Storms on top of the deck. They've got access to 6 mana right now. They can pay 7 with this Eldrazi Temple and cast their Sire of 7 Deaths if they want to. Sire of 7 Deaths is an absolute nightmare to tangle with in combat. It's a good thing that I have this Ensnaring Bridge that shuts off all combat, though. Alright, that's fine. I think I'm just going to hold on to this Inquisition of Kozilek. Like, I can discard it to the Underworld Cookbook if I really need to. Yeah, I'm just going to hold on to the Thoughtseize too. I just don't need to be using these. This Verdant Catacombs on top of my deck will eventually be able to find an Underground Mortuary, which will help me find another Mill Rock, which is really the only thing I need to get this completely cleaned up. Well, now they have a Malevolent Rumble on top of their deck, so I've got to take that. Because that can find all sorts of nasty stuff that I'm not fully prepared for. They could have a big-brained move, and they could Ghost Quarter their own land. I think that would probably be pretty smart. I'm drawing another Inquisition of Kozilek here, so I'm not going to keep the other one. Okay, here we go. Basic Swamp on top of my deck. We really are just staring at each other. I don't have as strong of a lock as I would want. Ugin's Labyrinth comes down. It doesn't reprint anything. I'm just going to draw the Swamp. That's another basic Swamp. If my opponent allows me to go to my next turn... Ooh, nope, can't have that. Well, can they not have that? Can they not have that? Let me think here. They can use Icitil Explorer to Turbo Ghost Quarter me out of the game. Oh, they can use Icitil Explorer to Turbo Ghost Quarter themselves and get as many fetches as they want. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually take it. Okay, that's fantastic. Pyxis comes down, and we are cooking now. We're fine. Game's wrapped up. I hit all my mill rocks. Let's just go ahead and close it out. The hero refusing to use their Ghost Quarter here. I don't know why. I'm not even going to bother tracking their hand anymore. They just got a bunch of garbage in hand. All right, take another Codex Shredder. That's very good. Ojuka Bog in their list, huh? That's very interesting. Splash in this Orcish Bowmaster. I don't need it in my hand. I'll go ahead and actually have it kill itself. Don't want her making triggers. Oh, I should have attacked with it. That sucks. Yeah. So what this deck does is this, actually. So I'll go ahead and take this turn to explain what's going on here. So I've got Ensnaring Bridge in play. Creatures with power greater than the number of cards in my hand can't attack. I've got one card in hand, so my opponent's creatures cannot attack because they're too big. How is my opponent supposed to win the game here? They've got Ugin, Eye of the Storms, Unholy Heat, and like a dead card in hand, and they're about to draw a forest. What options does my opponent have in order to win right now? They need to get rid of the Ensnaring Bridge somehow, and they don't have anything in hand that can do that. Unholy Heat can kill my Orc Army token, sure. But it doesn't really interact with me in any way. So what I've done is I have set up a lock. I have this Lantern of Insight in play that allows me to see what card every person is going to draw. And then if I see something on their end that'll interact with what I'm doing, say like a Glaring Fleshraker that can deal damage to me even without attacking, then I can simply say, no, you mill a card. And they can't draw it. It just goes into their graveyard like this. So Misty Rainforest is on top of their deck. I don't want them drawing a Sowing Mycospawn. I'll have them mill that. Gonna have everyone exile this Ugin's Labyrinth. But I like this Urza Saga on top of my deck, so I'm going to choose to draw that for the turn. So it is a lock, and my opponent is dead here. They just are not conceding, and that is one of the big problems with playing Lantern Control, is that you need to be playing quickly. Gonna go ahead and suicide this Orc Army token in. They're gonna block with their Sire of Seven Deaths. I don't care. I'm literally just doing this to make it so that I don't have that prompt come up to attack in. Oh, like this Kozilek's command. They have a ton of mana in play right now, right? So they can Kozilek's command, search their entire deck at this point, basically, for whatever card they want, and just put it directly to their hand. But I'm making them exile the top card of their deck. So now instead of drawing that Kozilek's command, they're going to draw, oh, let's see. I'll let them draw another Talisman of Impulse. That seems like it would be a fun thing for them to draw. And when the game gets like this, I've won. It's just a matter of clicking through it. Like, they can cast as many Talisman of Impulses as they want. I'm just gonna continue to exile the top card of their deck and mill things and yada yada until one of us runs out of cards. And it's not gonna be me. Not even gonna suspend this Profane Tutor. I don't need it. And that was my opponent's last draw for the game. They cast a Utopia Sprawl, they chose green. And now I'm just going to mill them out. It appears that the hero does not have a main board answer to Ensnaring Bridge. So I'm not convinced that it would have actually mattered if I had let them do whatever the heck they wanted. Yeah, they don't have any answers to mainboard Ensnaring Bridge. They just died. I guess they might have had like a single Boseiju in there somewhere. I wasn't actually actively looking for Boseiju. Oh well, it's fine. Let's go ahead and move on to the sideboard games here. Sorry. So I'm playing against Red-Green Eldrazi. I want these Duresses in, the stuff that I'm really worried about, the Kozilek's commands specifically. Those are going to be answered by Duress. Cling to Dust, I don't think I really need. Pithing Needles, I want in the deck. Grafdigger's Cage can get out. And I believe the Underworld Cookbook can also get out. Cursed Totem doesn't seem particularly strong in this matchup. I think I might just want the third Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, I think I'm just going to bring in the Assassin's Trophy. And to answer your question, Cohen, this deck is weak to aggressive strategies, especially. Because it does take a little bit of time for the lock to get set up. It's also got a lot of moving pieces. So any deck that can sufficiently disrupt and then push its own agenda will have a decent time. Lantern Control historically has struggled against Jund for this reason, because the deck just goes Thoughtseize, Tarmogoyf, Liliana of the Veil, or maybe Thoughtseize, Tarmogoyf, Maelstrom Pulse in the old days. And that was very difficult for Lantern to deal with. These days, Jund has mostly been usurped by Boros Energy, which is still a pretty tough matchup. Even if you do resolve an Ensnaring Bridge, they will have a Johnny and a Goblin Bombardment and Flage that can get around it. And they have various ways of removing Ensnaring Bridge, so it's pretty difficult to deal with energy for that reason. That doesn't mean that we don't win matches against energy, it's just probably like a 40-60 matchup in their favor. This hand has no disruption and 2 Urza Sagas, which I am not going to be of the highest faith that these Urza Sagas are going to get the job done. I think I... it's got 5 lands in it. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan it. This hand is better. It's a matter of what I want to get rid of. And I think it's going to actually be a Blooming Marsh here. Hero is leading on Forest into Utopia Sprawl. Kind of wishing that this Inquisition of Kozilek was any other discard spell. Oh, well, this was an Overgrown Tomb. I thought this was another, Blooming Marsh. Magus of the Moon, huh? Magus of the Moon or Trinisphere. Either one of these are gonna screw me over pretty hard. If only I had fetched basic Swamp off that Verdant Catacombs. Then I would just take the Trinisphere, I would let Maggots land, they would swing in with it, I would play Orcish Bowmasters, I would trade a Ping and an Orc army for it. But I think in the position that I'm in, I have to take the Magus. And I'm just gonna languish under this Trinisphere forever. I'm not gonna lie, I think that this game is lost. Already. Yeah, Inquisition of Kozilek on top here, that's not very good. I think I do just need to fetch the Underground Mortuary and find my third land. Normally, Cohen, when I am looking for hands, I want to find something that has a Lantern Lock in it. Like this hand has Lantern of Insight and Codex Shredder, which is pretty good. This hand also has a discard spell in it, which I like. Normally, I would want an Ensnaring Bridge as well. It's just a shame that it didn't line up very well in this particular instance. If I were on the play here, I would have been able to take something. But I wasn't on the play because I won the last game. Blooming Marsh, I'm going to put that right on top of the deck. And the hero here has Sowing Mycospawn and Malevolent Rumble right now. I could just Inquisition them and take the Malevolent Rumble out of their hand. And then I think next turn I'm going to start developing my Lantern Lock. They're surveilling with Commercial District here. I don't like this. They're really in the tank about this. What could they be in the tank about? Sowing Mycospawn? All right, yeah. You can get rid of that. 1, 2, 4, 5. If their top card was a land, then they can kick Sowing Mycospawn here. Oh, but it was an Ice Till Explorer. Oh, that's so much worse. Oh, that is so much worse. All right, so I'm going to play out my Pyxis of Pandemonium here. Yeah, this Trinisphere is just really screwing me over. Wonder if Magus of the Moon would have been better. Talisman of Impulse is in their yard now. Like, at least all of the cards in my hand are colorless except for this Orcish Bowmasters. Like, I wouldn't have been able to take the Malevolent Rumble. Oh, and they kicked Sowing Mycospawn. Yeah. I think that in practice, this game was over on turn 1 when I discarded them. Okay, now it's definitely over. They're going to Ghost Quarter me out of the game. I don't think I'm going to continue to play this. I've seen their sideboard plan. They've got Magus of the Moons. They've got Trinispheres. Like, if I was just doing this for my own pleasure, I probably would have continued to play out that game, but I've got folks watching that probably don't want to be sitting through that this whole time. Do I have anything in my sideboard that could be better than what I've got already? Not particularly. I could bring in Fatal Pushes, but using a Fatal Push on an Ice Till Explorer or on a Sowing Mycospawn that's already done its work Seems pretty bad. I think I'm just going to keep my Assassin's Trophies in and hope for a better 7 this time. Yeah, that turn 2 Trinisphere really screwed us over. It was not fun. Well, I mean, it was fun for the hero here. They got to take a game with it. All right, I would actually like to be on the play. This is a quick lock. I think I actually will keep this. And I think this is a turn 1 Urza Saga hand. Heroes mulliganing to 6. Yeah, no kidding. When your average mana value is so low, Trinisphere just really screws you over. I am going to develop turn 1 Urza Saga here, and I'm actually going to play Pyxis into Opal. The hero's going to have to take at least 1 turn here to develop. And it's Nature's Claim on my Urza Saga. You know what? Yeah, I get it. Nature's Claim on the Urza Saga. Hey, Lantern of Insight, just straight up off the top of the deck. That's fantastic. I'm going to fetch a basic swamp here. And I'm going to develop my lock. I don't believe I want them having access to Icetill Explorer, so I'm going to mill that. Utopia Sprawl is fine. I want a discard spell. I would prefer a Thoughtseize. I will take a Duress. Inquisition of Kozilek is going to be a little bit dicey. This looks like it might be a Malevolent Rumble. Nope, it's a Talisman of Impulse. I will take a Talisman of Impulse. That's perfectly fine by me. I think I actually want to discard spell so badly that I'm willing to get rid of a good draw on top of their deck. Oh, and it's a Duress. Yeah, we love to see that. All right, let's Duress you. Magus of the Moon, I don't really care about. Fade from History, get out of the hand. That is a destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Do not want them having that. Fade from History's gone. They do have Magus of the Moon as a threat that I will eventually need to worry about. But I don't think I'm particularly concerned. Utopia Sprawl is their draw for turn. They played their Ghost Quarter. Sprawling on the Forest. Choosing red. Choosing red. And that's a Magus of the Moon. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna get rid of the Sowing Myco spawn. I'm not really ready for them to have creatures right now. Like, I've got 2 Millrocks in play, and that's very helpful, but these 2 Millrocks are going to be under quite a bit of strain here. Don't want this Verdant Catacombs. Don't want them to have the Nature's Claim. Icetill Explorer. With the Magus of the Moon in play, it is just a 2/4 that will occasionally mill them a card. I think I'm going to just accept that. Actually kind of want to keep the Magus in play now. And I'm going to use this Orcish Bowmasters to, yeah. Okay, that, well, it would have been fine, but It would have been fine if I had milled that I Still Explorer, but I didn't want to worry about something even worse underneath of it. I'm going to just take the hit here. I'm not going to try and kill their Magus of the Moon. Utopia Sprawl again. And I Still Explorer is fine. I will take advantage of this and try to mill myself towards an Ensnaring Bridge. That is not an Ensnaring Bridge. I will just go ahead and place this Orcish Bowmasters down. Ping the hero here. I really don't want this Thoughtseize. Basic Swamp I'm gonna have to be okay with. Urza Saga is not what I want either. These guys are on blocking duty. I really need an Ensnaring Bridge at this point. I'm going to continue to take 4 a turn until I can find an Ensnaring Bridge. And I think I'm actually desperate enough to where I need to get rid of this Urza Saga off the top of my deck. There's a Profane Tutor, which will actually eventually find me an Ensnaring Bridge, so I don't think I'm worried at this point, actually. So what's going to happen here is they will have this Sowing Mycospawn. They will actually even be able to kick it, but even if they do kick it, it turns off whatever land they fetch is turned off by Magus. So I'm going to take 2, 4. I'm going to fall to 13. And then the next turn, they're going to be able to swing with this. So I'll fall to 6. And then Ensnaring Bridge will be down and I'll have double lock. I need to keep them off of ways to remove Magus of the Moon. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I'm okay here. And Trinisphere is no longer a problem. Well, it's kind of a problem. I think I am actually going to get rid of it. Well, it's going to be shuffled away when they kick this Sowing Mycospawn anyway. And Urza Saga is actually shut off right now. Magus of the Moon shuts it off. It'll still get its first chapter, or at least it'll get its first counter. The first chapter won't trigger. And it'll still be able to stay around and tap for red. But it will never advance to the second chapter as long as Magus is in play. And my intent with this game is to keep Magus of the Moon in play the entire game. My basic swamp is gone. That's fine. I am going to continue to just hold here. I would like this Profane Tutor on top of my deck. Well, now I need to get rid of the Fade from History. I just can't let them draw that. Second Magus of the Moon, huh? I think that's fine. And now I'm actually going to Thoughtseize myself. Gonna take that other Thoughtseize out of my hand. Gonna continue to hold back here. I just didn't want those Thoughtseizes, both of the Thoughtseizes rotting in my hand when they've got two power creatures here. Magus of the Moon. And I am actually going to do this now. I am going to block these creatures. I am going to fall to 9. Second Magus of the Moon comes down. And now I'm going to take this Malevolent Rumble. A Trinisphere in this position is actually okay for them to have. I am okay with the Trinisphere. I have the lands in play. I'm not really going to be losing them. I'll grab Ensnaring Bridge. Lantern of Insight on top of my deck. Play Ensnaring Bridge. I've got 1 card in hand. If I had not Thoughtseized myself the previous turn, I would have 3 cards in hand right now, and I would be dead, actually. I would just be exactly, well, not exactly dead, but like I'd have the Thoughtseizes in hand and I'd have to lose 2 life, and like I'd basically be dead. I would have to dig myself into exactly Inquisition of Kozilek, which is on top of my deck, yes, but still. Now I'm likely going to have 1 card in hand for a while instead of 3. And I'm going to be in a much better position. Trinisphere is in play now. I don't really mind. I'm in a much better position to deal with that now than I was before. And I actually am going to mill that Thoughtseize. Duress is fine, I guess. Gonna go ahead and drop this Lantern. Never forget about that self-Thoughtseize, everybody. Self-Thoughtseize is a thing. You can Thoughtseize yourself, you can Inquisition of Kozilek yourself, you cannot Duress yourself because it says target opponent on it. And I'm going to continue to mill myself here. I'm just trying to dig myself into more stuff. Once I find 1 more mill rock, I think I'm going to be okay. There we go. That's 1 more mill rock. Wow, this actually worked out. I can even allow my opponent to draw a single removal spell and it's still fine. Yeah, I win the match. So that was a really interesting back and forth. I like that match a lot. Using the Magus of the Moon to benefit me instead of benefiting my opponent here really helped out. Cat, oh sir, oh boy, oh cats, oh cat, 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 cats. Oh. Yes, ow. Yes, ow, cat. Cat thinks the match was exciting too, don't you? All right, well, I'm just gonna have to play like this. Oh my goodness, he's purring. I'm gonna have to play like this for a little bit. Oh, on to match 3. So my cat does this every single time he climbs up onto my lap. He will walk across my desk. He will go into my lap, and then he will ask to go onto my shoulder, or he won't ask, and then he will just use his claws to climb up me. But he's not smart enough to figure out how to keep himself balanced on a shoulder. So he will inevitably just swing his big fat butt around, and then try to stay on, but he's gonna claw into my shoulder to do that, and then he'll fall off. And then he will attempt to settle for laying in my lap, but he doesn't know how to stay balanced when he's laying in someone's lap. So he will then inevitably fall off. He has already completed that entire process and is now staring out the window looking at squirrels. I am on the draw, actually, in match 3 versus Alpha. I like your whatever this is, Alpha, JDRF. I have no idea what that means. The hero has kept 7. I'm inclined to keep 7 as well. This has a lot of lands in it, and I really don't want to draw another land. But, you know, Urza Saga is a pretty good card to have in your hand, right? Hollowed Fountain, Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble. What nonsense are you playing today? Tamiyo, huh? All right. Well, that is pretty poopy for me. How about basic Swamp Codex Shredder? We're playing against a nice deck here, y'all. This is going to be an interesting game, I think. This is some sort of big affinity, I believe. This deck will likely have Emrys in it. If it's especially spicy, it might even have a red splash and be playing something like Jeskai Ascendancy. Yep, I am already in trouble. They have an Urza Saga. Their constructs are going to be significantly larger than mine. That is a repeal for X equals 1. Yeah, I think this is Jeskai Ascendancy combo. I think this is Jeskai Ascendancy. They use the repeal as tempo on my Codex Shredder. That's very strange, actually. Oh, they were trying to flip their Tamiyo. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I'm just not going to have any stuff in play for this Urza Saga. Am I going to hold open Orcish Bowmasters? Nah, I think I'm suspending Profane Tutor here. The hero has done all of this stuff and is still managing to have 5 cards in hand right now. Sorry. But their deck has a lot of air in it. Yep, there's the basic mountain. I guarantee you this is Jeskai Ascendancy. All right, yeah, there's Quarry Steelcutter, Mishra's Bauble, so they can start drawing 2 cards a turn. Urza Saga is going to start causing trouble for me. I don't believe that I am going to be doing anything other than suspending, than casting an ensnaring bridge here. I kind of want to slow the game down a little bit so that I don't die to these Urza Saga constructs that are going to be coming out here really soon, actually. Typically, you'll want to play Urza Saga on turn 2. There are exceptions to this rule, like earlier today, I played Urza Saga on turn 1. But right now, Urza Saga on 2 is the best thing, I think. I think these constructs are actually going to be able to swing in under the bridge at least one time. That repeal on my Codex Shredder really hurt. Okay. 4/4 construct. They're almost certainly going to be tutoring for something here. It's a Lava Spur Boots. If they equip the Lava Spur Boots, then the construct they equip it to cannot attack. Ooh, they shocked in a Sacred Foundry. That terrifies me. So what could happen here is they could have a Mox Opal or a Mox Amber in hand. They could pop the Clue token to draw a card and then play out the extra mana source. Nope, they're not doing that. They're doing something else. Why are you tapping white? Oh, you're putting Lava Spur Boots on the Ragavan. That's really scary. So I have a lot of problems that need to be answered basically right away. But I also have an Urza Saga tutor and a Profane tutor coming off suspend next turn. So this is going to be very helpful for me. I'm taking 8 here. I'm falling to 11. Ragavan is going to trigger. Please do not hit, I guess, a discard spell. They hit a Verdant Catacombs, which is something I didn't want anyway. Get that out of my deck. The hero's casting Mishra's Bauble. And I need to decide what I'm going to grab here. I think this is the turn that I get my lock in place. I have this Codex Shredder in hand. Man, if they have Force of Negation as their last 2 cards in hand, like Force blue card would really suck here. But they don't. So what do I need to do? I need to make sure, first and foremost, that Tamiyo does not ultimate next turn. Oh, wait, no. I have Orcish Bowmasters. If Tamiyo ultimates, I can just kill them, right? So do I even worry about Tamiyo? Yeah, because they can neg 3 Tamiyo and they can get repeal back. And that would suck. I don't think I need to get clever here. I think I just need to grab Lantern of Insight off of this one. And then I can draw for turn. It's a Grafdigger's Cage. That was actually one of the best draws in my entire deck right now because that'll also shut off Tamiyo or Emery. And now I can grab Pithing Needle and name Tamiyo here. I can use my Verdant Catacombs. Actually, do I even need to use Verdant Catacombs yet? I'm going to start with an Inquisition. Thundering Falls, Fiery Islet. So everything that they have on board. I will lead next with a Lantern of Insight then. Yeah, that's the Jeskai Ascendancy that I was telling y'all about. How do I want to do this? I have a 3rd basic Swamp. I think I'm going to fetch that, actually. Third basic Swamp. I have an Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck. I don't necessarily want that. Now the question is, do I play Orcish Bowmasters? Do I suspend Profane Tutor, which is probably a bad choice? Or do I simply play Shredder Cage? I think the answer here is Shredder Cage. Now that I've decided that, do I want them having this Jeskai Ascendancy? I think the answer to this is no. They have still got a bunch of card draw on board. So I'm not out of the woods yet here. Ugh. Yeah, see that Teferi? They're just going to bounce my Ensnaring Bridge and then kill me. So they cannot draw Teferi. Fiery Islet is coming down. Draw a card off of the clue token. Believe they just have this anyway, right? Because I make them shuffle here. But then they just activate Fiery Islet. And they have to fairy in hand anyway. And now I'm just in a terrible position. The hero's probably going to re-equip the Lava Spur boots to like an Emery, and then swing in for 4, put me to 6. Oh, and then they could... use... wow, another Tamiyo, huh? Then they could, you know, play Teferi and bounce the Pithing Needle on Tamiyo, but it looks like they chose not to do that. I'm falling to 6 here. They're gonna take the Ensnaring Bridge off the top of my deck that I didn't really want anyway. Okay, well, they have a Teferi Time Raveler in hand that's basically just gonna be game. And I did not draw an answer to it. I believe that this is just game over. I am going to play my Overgrown Tomb. I'm not going to pay the 2 life. And then I'm just going to pass turn. Maybe last turn I should have held open Orcish Bowmasters and tried to rely on them making a mistake with ultimating Tamiyo. And then I could have cheesed them out with Orcish Bowmasters. That might have had to have been the play. That's just so risky. Yeah, I'm going to flash this in. Now they know about it. Where do I want to put this draw? This ping probably can go on Tamiyo. I could ping the Planeswalker, bring it to 7. I could ping this guy, put it to 1 damage on it. Oh, it's got Ward 1. I'm gonna actually put it on the Emery so that I can kill it if they do decide to bounce with Teferi Time Raveler right now. Okay, draw for turn. Thundering Falls enters play. Yeah, that's a Fairy Time Raveler being on top of their deck was just not good for me. There it is. Let's see what they choose to bounce. Probably Ensnaring Bridge, right? Yeah, it's Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, well, I'm going to take out your Emery to kind of make this better for myself. That's fine. They're going to choose Quarry Steelcutter to cast. They can't cast it because of the Gravedigger's Cage here. Tamiyo flips. They get to choose which one to keep, probably the one that's at 8. And I have to chump with both of these. I can't believe I'm still in this game. Like, I should not be in this game, but I still am. I don't think I'm going to be for much longer. Yeah, they got Mox Amber. Another Emery is in hand, and it looks like they are casting it. All right, let's go ahead and mill you one. Mox Amber. I'm pretty sure I know how their deck functions at this point. Nothing is coming to save me. I have to get this Ensnaring Bridge down. And this Pyxis is fine, I guess. But this Teferi Time Raveler is going to be ticking up. They're just getting a bunch of wild, uncontrolled draws here. Urza Saga's not going to be very good for me. Yeah, at this point, I am going to need either a Pithing Needle or an Assassin's Trophy. That's assuming that nothing happens for like 3 turns. Looks like the hero has figured out that they need to swing underneath bridge, so they are going to be using Emery to do that. They could also cast a second spell and then re-equip Quarry Steelcutter. Although I guess the Monk token wouldn't have haste anymore, so that might not work. Just gonna F6 here. Or F0, I guess. But it appears that I have exhausted at least this wave of attacks. So if I am able to, by some miracle, hit something that will help me, like a second Ensnaring Bridge, that I will immediately slam. Thank you very much. Maybe I should have slammed that next turn. I should have put the Profane Tutor on suspend this turn. Does this Teferi Time Raveler can now just bounce the Pithing Needle? Why did you shock in Steam Vents? I don't like that. Okay, well, I am still in very much trouble here. Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, that's not gonna help. Yeah, Scalding Tarn is in hand, and this just doesn't matter. I'm sure they're gonna be able to do something here that'll cause them to win the game. I'm actually gonna exile with Pyxis, and I'm gonna continue to mill them out. The hero here has 18 cards left in their deck. I'm F6'd. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, the best they could get in this situation is a Soul Guide Lantern, which is just a redraw. Yep, Pithing Needle is bounced to hand. They can swing for 2. And if they have any instant spell, then it is just straight up lethal because the monk has prowess. F6 means that I have no responses until the end of their turn, or until my turn starts. Just waiting for the hero to figure out how they want to win here. Ten cards in their hand, I'm sure they can do something, right? That'll do it too. That is Tamiyo that can be equipped with the Lava Spur Boots, and that is just lethal. Okay, yeah, well played from the opponent here, taking some tight lines. It did take everything that they had to break what I got, but you know, they did actually win. And they won the game with 8 cards left in their deck. Wonder if there was a opportunity for me to be a little bit more aggressive with my Pyxising? Maybe I could have won the game if I had been, you know, milling them out more aggressively. How do I want to play against this opponent? Do I want Cursed Totem? No. Do I want Duress? Yeah, I want Duress. I want Duress against them very, very much so. Do I want Cling to Dust? I don't believe so. And do I want the Underworld Cookbook? I also don't believe so. I'm actually not convinced that I have much room for additional sideboarding in this matchup. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this light touch here and just hope to do a little bit better next time. This is not a little bit better. This is marginally a little bit better. I think I'm going to bottom one of the lanterns. And I'm going to lead on Pyxis, actually. The hero here does not have discard, so I'm going to hold the Mox Opal in hand. I expect them to have sided in stuff like Wear Tear. All right, a bit of a slower start this time. Well, okay, I'll take that back. Okay, I'll take that back. I take it back, I take it back, I take it back. Basically the exact same start. And let's get started with the Pyxising immediately. So I will play out Lantern of Insight. They have Emery on top of their deck. But I have Grafdigger's Cage on top of mine. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Thoughtseize them now. Consign, Repeal, Steam Vents, Fiery Islet. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. I believe the answer here is actually Consign. I wish I had a land drop, but I don't. So they're just going to have to draw the Emery, and I'm going to have to answer it with the Grafdigger's Cage here. I think the hero might be trying to get this Teferi Time Raveler on top of their deck. They could if they wanted to. They could either sacrifice this Clue token, or they could sacrifice their Fiery Islet. Let's make them see the line, or they could repeal their own Mox Opal and get Teferi down now. Yeah, I think that's good enough to where I need to activate Pyxis. I hate to say it. That was a really good play. Yeah, you get a Teferi. Okay, we each exile. Extremely unlucky for me, I think. And now Tamiyo is just flipped immediately? Jeez. That was their turn 2, by the way. The only thing that's good for me right now is that I have this Orcish Bowmasters, which I think I need to flash in. I don't think I can afford to do anything else. Let me see what I can do here. And they have an Urza Saga coming too? This Profane Tutor is going to rot in my hand. Wow, I ran out of options very quickly in this game. I think I have to hold open Orcish Bowmasters. Playing Pyxis is no good when the stuff in their hand is going to kill me. I think this is just my only option right now. Maybe I should have taken them off the Quarry Steelcutter. But they already have an Urza Saga. Like, I need to answer that. Cameo's taking up to 6 already, huh? Quarry Steelcutter is down. And there is no opportunity for me to ping this thing. Because it gets +1/+1 off the Quarry Steelcutter right away. Okay, the hero's gonna choose to play Emery here. Steam Vents to Fairy Time Raveler. I think I am actually gonna flash this in. And I will trade the token and the ping for this Quarry Steelcutter token. I'm gonna take a damage. It's fine. Okay, well, this is terrible. That is an Emery on top of their deck. Oh my god, it's Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah. Fairy Time Raveler's out of their hand. Pyxis of Pandemonium is in play. I can't really use it because I really want this Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck. Ugh. That was definitely a swing in my favor, but the game is most certainly heavily favoring the hero here. They're just upping Tamiyo to the moon. I feel like here they should have returned like Consign to Memory or Repeal or something. Yeah, my stuff, I'm just so far behind here. I think the only thing that I'm hoping for to win this game is that the hero somehow, oh, jeez. Yeah, you're just gonna put Quarry Steelcutter on the construct? That's terrifying. Everything is just ticking up. They have so many angles of attack that I can't really handle all of them. I am taking a crack for 6. Haste and Trample, huh? I don't believe there is a way that I can win this because I need Ensnaring Bridge and land. I think I need to get more creative. So I could attempt to dig myself into an Assassin's Trophy. Retraction Helix? Wow, they're going full combo here. Hitting 2 bridges is not good for me. Pithing Needle's not good. Pithing Needle's not... Wow, I just hit 2 bridges and 2 Pithing Needles. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Like, I could technically shuffle a Lantern and hope to hit into a, what do you call it? A Assassin's Trophy. But then what? Like, I'm just gonna be run over by this Tamiyo. I'm gonna have no lock in place. It's just not working well. It's just not working. I didn't have the time to get off the ground. My opponent had way too many angles of attack. It just did not work out. That's okay. It happens. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to match 4. All right, that was fast. I'm on the play in match 4 versus Fresh versus Fresh. This hand has 5 lands in it. Is this really what happens when I put a single land in my deck? I went from 21 to 22 lands. I can Inquisition my opponent, and then I can Thoughtseize my opponent, and then I can activate Urza Saga twice and then die. This hand just doesn't have anything to do with it. I think I have to mulligan this. Like, it's technically got the Thoughtseize and Urza Saga. I just think I got a mulligan. This is better. I don't know if this is even better. I'm gonna bottom one of the trophies. Just getting some run bads in this, I think. I believe the correct play here is actually Fomori Vault. One could probably argue for getting the Shockland out of the deck so that I could draw like a basic or something and play the Assassin's Trophy. But I want to leave the option open. And honestly, I probably should have led on turn 1 Grafdigger's Cage instead of turn 1 Pyxis. But I was thinking Pyxis because it would interact with the heroes' Surveil lands. Breeding Pool tapped. This has got to be some sort of like not breeding pool, like birthing ritual combo deck, right? If that's the case, then I am simply going to go Cage Shredder. And I will go ahead and shock in this Verdant Catacombs. Or the Overgrown Tomb here. Yes, I'm going to pay the 2 life. I'm going to lead on Grafdigger's Cage, see if that gets forced. It did not. Now Codex Shredder. Breeding Pool tapped. What could that mean? Urza Saga. We're not playing against the same deck again, are we? Mox Amber. It's just the same deck, except with a weird Breeding Pool start. At least Cage shuts off Emery. Yeah, it's just artifact good stuff. I don't think I'm going to mill them, because in case they remove the Cage, I don't want to have a bunch of stuff in their graveyard, you know? And I believe in this situation, I do have to Beseiju the Urza Saga. Do I do it now, or do I wait until their draw step? I think I'm going to wait until their draw step. Glad I shocked in that Overgrown Tomb. I just do not have time to deal with this saga right now. Yeah, they're repealing the Grafdigger's Cage. But now the only thing that they can get off the Grafdigger's Cage, off the Emery, is a Mox Opal. Which is not nothing, but it is probably one of the weakest things that they could grab off of it right now. Ether Spellbomb. More air, huh? That's just a Codex Shredder. I see the Metallic Rebuke. Do I just jam Cage? I think I just jam Cage. I know that they probably have a Rebuke somewhere. Oh, they just landed. All right, that's fine. All right, Codex Shredder down then. And it looks like the hero was relying pretty heavily on that Urza Saga here. No Surveil Land, shocking in Steam Vents. What does that mean? Does that mean Ether Spellbomb activate to cycle plus a repeal? Oh, it's a Flame of Anor. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Well, there are still no cards in their graveyard for them to use this Emery with. But that Flame of Anor is really bad for me. Now they finally found Tamiyo, and I've still got nothing going on. I'm not convinced that that first hand would have done anything against this either. Just still feels bad, you know? Okay, Lava Spur Boots. We're going to see an equip onto Tamiyo. Oh boy, no, we're going to see an equip onto Quantum Riddler. That's so bad. This deck playing Quantum Riddler is not good for me. Yeah, I don't think I'm winning this. I'm just casually at 11. Jeez. And this Assassin's Trophy is just kind of rotting in my hand, too. I don't even have a second colored source to cast it. Repealing their own Mox Opal to cycle. To flip Tamiyo. Mox Opal enters untapped, and that's it. Now what? Now what? I think I'm gonna do nothing here. Yeah, I can cast an Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, sure, that'll help me. They can just cast Quantum Riddler from Warp and then equip it with Lava Spur Boots next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. This is the old Thoughtseize you concede. I'm not gonna even bother playing this game anymore. I'm so far behind, it just doesn't matter. Plan did not come together. The plan did not come together. I didn't even face that much resistance from my opponent. They just did their thing and their thing worked, and my thing did not work. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did last time. Duress is in. Cling to Dust out. And Underworld Cookbook out. But this time, I have the benefit of my opponent not knowing that I have Orcish Bowmasters in my deck. Which might benefit me. Maybe. Still taking their time to sideboard here. Oh, nope, looks like, no, they're still sideboarding. Okay, let's try again. I've got to keep it. I don't want to keep this hand, but I think I have to keep it. Blooming Marsh, Inquisition, you kept 7. It's going to be terrible. You're going to have 3 threats. Really just 1 threat? No engines to speak of? I could take Consign to Memory. I could take their Quarry Steelcutter, but then if they find anything, then I'm just SOL. It's gonna be very hard to put this Profane Tutor, have it do anything with that Consign to Memory in hand. I think I'd take the Consign. I could see an argument for taking Repeal, and I can see an argument for taking Quarry Steelcutter. I took Consign to Memory instead. My hand is just not very good. Oh, they kept the card on top of their deck too. I don't have any way to interact with that. Well, Swamp into Profane Tutor. Let's go. Orcish Bowmasters was a pretty good pickup. Basic Island, are they just going to jam Quarry Steelcutter here? Yep. And do they have the 0 to back it up? Is that why they surveilled the top? Oh yeah, they do have the 0 to back it up. They have a Mishra's Bauble in hand. What am I thinking? All right, here we go. Beats are coming down right now. They could even Mishra's Bauble Preordain if they wanted to. And it looks like they are choosing to do that. Repeal's still sitting in their hand, by the way. So they can repeal this Ensnaring Bridge if they want. Oh, they scryed double top off that Preordain? What on earth, mate? Like, what did you keep? They're gonna look to see what I draw here. Thoughtseize is not bad. Thoughtseize is not bad. But is it better than Ensnaring Bridge in this spot? I need to decide that. Do I want to Thoughtseize them and then potentially use Orcish Bowmasters to do something else? Or do I want to simply land Ensnaring Bridge and Opal? I'm not sure. If my opponent were to be repealing my Ensnaring Bridge, then that would take up basically the entirety of their next turn. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and land Ensnaring Bridge Opal here. Grab basic Swamp, Ensnaring Bridge, and Opal. Thoughtseize was a decent pickup. But next turn I'm gonna have my pick of more cards that I can Thoughtseize with. And I guess if they did repeal this Ensnaring Bridge this turn, then that would mean that they would need a 0 and a land, which is not impossible, but it is more difficult. Or they could just have Flame of Anor and completely wreck my day. Quarry Steelcutter number 2 isn't terrible. Okay, it's kind of terrible. It's kind of terrible. Yeah, that was kind of terrible, actually. Just perfect mathing that out to make it so they have 3 2/2s. I'm going to take a hit for 6, go down to 9. And now I need a sequence of draws that are really good here. Oh, they're just going to repeal their own Mox Opal in combat? I mean, yeah, you can do that. Make me fall to 6 instead of to 9. Yeah, they're repealing their own Mox Opal here. That's also gonna flip Tamiyo? Jeez, mate. Mox Opal comes down. I fall to 6. They tick it up to 4. And they just have repeals in their graveyard that they can use Tamiyo to kind of grab. What do I get with this Profane Tutor? I don't think I try and cheese out Tamiyo here. I think I just need to grab a Pithing Needle to answer it. I could grab Trophy. I could grab Trophy. I wish I had like a Soul Guide Lantern at this point, right? Even that Cling to Dust would be pretty good. I think I just need to get Pithing Needle. And I need to hope for the best. I need to draw into a lock very quickly. Oh, they have another Assassin's Trophy in my hand now. Okay, well, I am going to Thoughtseize them. It's a Quantum Riddler. Glad I got rid of that. All right, Pithing Needle's going to come down. I'm going to name the backside of Tamiyo here, and I'm passing turn. I think I'm just going to flash in Orcish Bowmasters, actually. And do I kill the monk? Yeah, I'll kill the monk. I could ping the Tamiyo down with this extra trigger off the bauble. And I think I will do that. Urza Saga out of them. Would love one of those myself. Do I burn this trophy on the Saga? Ooh, wow. Well, ask and you shall receive, I suppose. I might actually burn the trophy on the Saga. Well, no, that doesn't really matter much, because they can get like a Soul Guide Lantern or something, I guess. Maybe a Pithing Needle? They might actually be able to get a, what's it called? A Haywire Mite? Yeah, if they're gonna get a Haywire Mite, then maybe I should just trophy the Saga, yeah? Prevent them from doing that. because their deck has green in it, as we saw earlier. So I am worried about Haywire Might. Another Pithing Needle. I think I'm going to actually put this down, and I'm going to name Emery. So that's not an out that they can have. Bring down the Tamiyo again. And if I'm able to get any sort of lot going, like if I draw a Mill Rock or a Lantern or something on this next draw step, and my opponent has nothing in hand, then I have a shot at winning. Seems like they don't have nothing, though. It seems like they don't have nothing, and they're just figuring out how to win right now. Repeal on Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. Yeah, that happens. I'm gonna ping Tamiyo down again. There's no point in me pinging these monk tokens, I think. Oh, they shocked in a breeding pool, huh? Mox Amber. Just gonna go wide of my monks, or of my orcs, it looks like. Yeah, that alone is pretty damn close to doing it. Is their last card in hand something that they can cast, or is it just a land? They can cast pretty much anything that they want. They're going to combat. Swinging out, presumably. Not swinging out. Wow. Did I get away with something that I shouldn't have gotten away with? It feels like I got away with something. Another Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, I'm gonna search my deck for a Lantern of Insight here. Steam Vents on top of my deck. Gonna cast this Ensnaring Bridge. They have a counter spell. It's a Force of Negation. No! Why would they do this to me? Well, I didn't have any way to play around that. I've got a block here. Steam Vents is their draw. And I am going to flash in this Orcish Bowmasters as my last card. I'm going to kill one of their monks. Okay. New Ensnaring Bridge, please. Third Orcish Bowmasters is probably not where I want to be. I could attack. I could attack. If I attack, then what happens? Oh, they're at 18 and I'm at 4. Well, if I attack... I could take 2. I think I'm going to attack with 1. They're just taking it. They're not going to block. Scalding Tarn from them. Playing it as their land for turn. Quarry Steelcutter is on top of their deck. I'm debating as to whether I want them to draw it or not. I'm debating. I think I'm going to attack with the Construct this time. Still nothing. Quarry Steelcutter would not create a new token at this point in the game. It would have to be a second spell that they have after the Quarry Steelcutter goes into their hand. So I could let them draw the Quarry Steelcutter, which I did. And then next turn I could just Inquisition it. All right, this is a very clear Orcish Bowmasters ping their monk here. I think I actually might be able to recover this game just based off of combat. I think I might be able to recover this just off of combat. That is wild. Oh my goodness. Thanks for bouncing my Ensnaring Bridge. Now what? I have an Inquisition that I'm just going to hold in hand. If I swing out, then my opponent can block here and here, and then they take 7. If I swing out and they don't block at all, or they block just my biggest thing, then they're actually dead. Yeah, this is a swing out moment. I can afford to take a single hit off of one of these monks. They chose to chew up one of my orcs and died. Okay, yeah, we take those. That was crazy. That just kind of lined up perfectly in my favor. I'm not gonna lie. I am going to restart my client here. Give me a second. Okay, I restarted my client in the middle of sideboarding. It was great. I cannot believe I won that game. That was an incredible win. That was one of the best, most fun wins I've ever had. And now we're just faced with the 7 that has Underground Mortuary in it as the only land, so we've got a mulligan. Hero has kept 7. I am... Jeez, do I really believe in the heart of the cards here? I'm gonna believe in the heart of the cards. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna bottom an Inquisition. I'm gonna bottom Thoughtseize, actually. Basically, all of their stuff is 3 mana value or less. Okay, Hero leads on Thundering Falls. Finally, not blitzing out of the gates. Heart of the cards, give me a land. That is a Pithing Needle. Gonna grab basic Swamp here. And I will Inquisition the hero. Bunch of nasty stuff that really depends on Emery getting off the ground. Gonna take the Emery. Breeding Pool, Shocked In. Did they really just rip a Quarry Steel Cutter off the top of their deck? Okay, no, they're just playing Lava Spur Boots into Ether Spellbomb. All right, that's fine. Mox Opal. Force of Negation is in hand. Heart of the Cards is not helping me. Double Inquisition, take the Force of Negation. Leave them with Mox Opal. They're cycling the Ether Spellbomb. Now they're back up to 3 cards. And they got nothing. Land. No, that's not a land. I'm going to drop a Pithing Needle. It hits. I think I'm here more worried about Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar. So I think I might name that. Really wanted to get this down underneath a counter spell, but now I need a blind name. I'm gonna name Emery. I'm gonna name Emery. I know that they have an Emery in their graveyard. I'm still gonna name it. I think I'm most worried about that right now. Beseiju, land, yes, thank you, please. Jeez Louise, mate. All right, I've got Orcish Bowmasters online now. I'm gonna start casting them. The hero's got something. They got a Metallic Rebuke. I'm not going to counter. Or I'm not going to pay for it, I guess. Because I'm just going to drop another one. Second Bowmasters. Does this hit play? No, it does not. It just eats another Metallic Rebuke. Okay, I need to get something online now. Blooming Marsh is not it. Suspending Profane Tutor might be. Still nothing from the hero here. What could they have in their hand? Just a bunch of counter magic? Has to be a bunch of counter magic, right? I'm gonna play this Codex Shredder. That is let go. Holding open Assassin's Trophy. Feel like that might be important. Now they have a real thing to do. They've finally drawn into something. But what are they going to do here? Nothing, huh? They're going to do nothing. If they have Consigned to Memory, they should use it right now. If they don't use it, and this tutor goes onto the stack, and it resolves, then I'm going to grab probably Urza's Saga. But I don't think that they should let it get that far. They've got 5 cards in hand. They must have something, right? Here we go. They're waited for the correct trigger. They consigned it. I am simply going to drop an Ensnaring Bridge. And I'm going to pass back. I'm still in a Lantern of Insight waiting room here. I strongly believe that the hero just has a handful of counter magic. Mox Amber, why are you playing that out? Turning on Mox Opal? Uh-oh. Why are you playing out your other Mox Opal? Oh no, you have a Quantum Riddler? Really? Is that why? Why are you playing out third Mox Opal? Yeah, warping out Quantum Riddler. They're just trying to cycle away their stuff. Good thing I played out my Ensnaring Bridge when I had the chance. Preordain's coming down here. If they do top with Preordain, then I will have the ability to snipe one of them with Codex Shredder. I'm not feeling very favored right here. My Orcish Bowmasters both got countered. Yeah, they did top. That's terrifying. Urza Saga is going to come down. And I will actually mill the other one here. Hey, good morning, Yuki. Thanks for tuning in. Playing Orcish Bowmasters today. Having a lot of fun with that. All right. They milled a mountain, which is really weird. I didn't expect them to do that. I'm gonna Inquisition them. Repeal? Yeah, taking that repeal. Core Steel Cutter is in hand. Really wishing I had those Bowmasters. Would love those Bowmasters right now. Bowmasters would have caused so many problems. Even just one of them. I could still luck out here. Oh, they just had another Riddler. Okay. I could still luck out here by finding a Lantern anywhere when my opponent doesn't have any interaction for it. Profane Tutor will count. Oh, you've been on Is It Lessons in Standard, right? Or are you still playing Pioneer? Okay, that's the construct. I'm just gonna let the saga run its course. I don't think they have that much that could worry me. Well, except for, I guess, what's it called? Haywire Might. So maybe I should have used the trophy on the saga, but I just really want to hit something bigger than Haywire Might, I suppose. Oh, that's fair, Yuki. Of course you're going to be playing Bogles and Pioneer. Yep, there's the Haywire Might. So they can exile one of my bridges if they want to. I don't think that's the most effective use of Might. I think at this point, actually, they should be going for the Codex Shredder. Let's see if they agree. This pilot has proven themselves to be extremely competent so far. Okay, Rizzler comes out of exile. Spirebluff Canal comes down. Yeah, that Mox Opal is definitely turned on, so they have green whenever they want. I think Profane Tutor's coming off Suspend next turn. Yeah. I just drew Verdant Catacombs. That's just what I've got. The hero's down to under 5 minutes on clock. I don't think that's going to matter. I think they'll be able to win this game regardless. I'm just going to take the Love Tap from Might. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Quarry Steel Cutter is down. And I will just fetch the Overgrown Tomb here. All right, Profane Tutor's coming off Suspend now. Nope, it's not coming off Suspend. They had a Consign to Memory for it. Oh, but I have Lantern of Insight. Yeah, I'm throwing that down right away. Another Consign to Memory on top of their deck. Yeah, I'm really regretting not tagging that... I'm really regretting not tagging that, what's it called? The Urza Saga when I had the chance. I knew that they had a Haywire Might in their deck. Milling 4 cards here. So the hero could activate Quarry Steelcutter. What are they targeting? They're targeting the needle on Emery. So they could activate Quarry Steelcutter and attach it to Emery. Oh, that's basically like the best case scenario right there. I like that. Or the Lava Spur Boots and attach it to Emery. What do they have in their graveyard that I am worried about right now? They have a Mishra's Bauble and another Haywire Mite. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this now. Let's just do it now. If they have the repeal, the rebuke, yeah, they had the rebuke. All right. That sucks. Yeah, you get that. Recasting Haywire Mite. And now I need to put Pithing Needle on Haywire Mite. Oh, but they have a consigned memory in hand, right? So I'm not going to be able to do that. They're just going to consign this needle, and that's just it. Unfortunate. That's game. They've got Pithing Needle. They got a Haywire Mite Emery loop going. They could just exile my entire board. Okay. I could make them play it out. But I think they're going to win in the 3 minutes that they've got. Dang, that sucks. Yeah, that came down to me not using my Assassin's Trophy correctly. That was literally all that happened. I just didn't use Assassin's Trophy correctly. And now they win right here. Haywire Mite's coming out of the graveyard. They're going to exile my Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to take a fat crack of damage. And then I am going to die. Dang, that sucks. I'm going to go ahead and concede. I had a great time playing that match. But yeah, just made one mistake. I would have possibly been able to claw back from the brink there. But I let my opponent have a Haywire Mite when I should not have let them have it. Oh well, I had that trophy rotting in my hand. I should have used it when I, had the chance. I'm going to move on to match 5. I'm having a great day right now. Okay, thanks for the break, y'all. I am on the play. I'm on the play in match 5 versus Frank Holmquist. I'm gonna keep this. The underground mortuary is a bit unfortunate, but I think it's still good enough. All right, tap land to start out with. I think I actually do want the 3rd land here, so I will keep it. Ah, finally. Sacred Foundry into Ragavan. This is likely energy, but it could also be Jeskai Blink. I think I need to Thoughtseize my opponent, or at the very least Inquisition them to find out. And it is energy. So I could take the Goblin Bombardment out of this hand, and I think I will. Oh, I should have played Lantern of Insight. Dang it, come on, man. Ah. All right, that was a bit of a punt there. Hopefully it doesn't matter that much. Let's see what they hit off of Ragavan. It's Codex Shredder. If my opponent is in the know, then they should definitely be casting that Codex Shredder. But they're not. They're just casting Spyro instead. They bind another Ragavan and a Galvanic Discharge. Oh, really? Come on, mate. Okay, that was actually a bit of a misclick. Sorry about that. Just gonna grab the basic Swamp now. And Orcish Bowmasters is really interesting, actually. I think I'm going to lead on Lantern. Kind of running out of time here. I'm going to suspend Profane Tutor. I know I have the Bowmasters in hand. Just kind of need to get that Ensnaring Bridge found, yeah? And yeah, you're right. I need to Bowmasters the cat. Cat's dead. Well, out of their hand at least. And that Overgrown Tomb that I should have grabbed last turn is now just in my hand. I'm not gonna pay the 2 life. Yeah, I should have I should have grabbed the Overgrown Tomb. Now I need a Thoughtseize. I'm gonna take the Raven Charm, I guess. And I'm just behind. I think I have made some misplays in this game that have caused me to fall behind. I think instead of showing my opponent Orcish Bowmasters, I'm just going to suspend Profane Tutor and I'm going to give up on this. Yeah, I'm just dead. If I had fetched properly in the second turn, then I would have been much better shape. But I didn't. So I'm going to concede the game. Okay, that was fast. Let's see what we can do about this deck. This is why we've got the board wipes in the sideboard, by the way. I'm going to start off by getting rid of Grafdigger's Cage. And I think maybe the trophies. I think Orcish Bowmasters can just stay in still. Fatal Push and Path of Peril are what I'm trying to bring in. I think I can get rid of a single Cling to Dust. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of a single Cling to Dust, and I'm actually going to side out a Thoughtseize as well. This leaves me slightly more vulnerable to Flage. Actually, I'm going to be slightly more vulnerable to Flage. I think I want to side out a second Thoughtseize and bring in Cling to Dust. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm not bringing in Dreams of Steel and Oil, but I will... Yeah, I'll keep this. Just going to lead on Blooming Marsh here. Into Codex Shredder. The hero kept 6, not 7. And that is a turn 1 Ragavan. Not great for me. I think I just need to hold open 2 mana. They're going to swing in with the Ragavan. I am actually going to fetch here, and I'm going to ping it down. Goodbye, Ragavan. They can now drop an Ocelot Pride if they want to. Nope, it's an Ajani Nakatl Pariah, huh? Well, I've got a Pithing Needle for that. And I think I will actually use it. These Bowmasters are on blocking duty. Ocelot Pride is now down. No attacks, huh? I think I'm going to cycle this Cling to Dust, try to dig myself into a land. I dug myself into an Inquisition instead. Oh, found the land anyway. Okay. I will Inquisition them now. What do I want to take out of this hand? Thraben Charm, I guess? Yeah, I'll take the Thraben Charm. They still have double Spyro, which might cause problems. But at least Thraben Charm will insulate... Taking Thraben Charm will insulate against Urza Saga. And Spyros aren't castable right this second. Guide of Souls. Ooh, that's terrible for me. Okay. The Seiju was a pretty good pickup. I'm going to play that as a land. And play my Ensnaring Bridge. Now all I need is a Lantern. Please give me a Lantern of Insight, and this game's wrapped. Jeez, the coughs are just not going away. The hero found an Arid Mesa. They found their 3rd land here. And now Spyro's coming down. Let's see what they get rid of. Pride and Flage are gone. I get to kill something here. I get to kill something here. I could take out the Guide of Souls. I could take out the Spyro. I don't think that's very good. I could take out the Pride and the Cats. Yeah, I'll do that. The hero choosing not to flip a Johnny, I think that's wise. Okay, so they still have another Spyro in hand here. I think I'm going to start milling myself. Because if I find a Lantern of Insight by doing that... Ooh, that is an Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, I'll fire that off now. Voice of Victory, Spyro, Flooded Strand. I'll take the Spyro. They can cast Flage out of their graveyard if they want to. But anyway, I think I got interrupted. So I'm milling myself in case I find a Lantern. That 5th land will allow me to transform a Codex Shredder into a Lantern if I dig into it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's Ensnaring Bridge number 2. That is a Verdant Catacombs. Basic Swamp. Okay. You know what I could do? Is I could Cling to Dust, like their Flage or something? I could Cling to Dust their Flage. Is that any good? Or would I just rather draw a card? I'm gonna think about this. Okay, they've got an Elegant Parlor. They're gonna Surveil 1 here. Binning a Voice of Victory. I'm really thinking about this. I think I'm gonna Cling the Flage. I can't Cling? Oh, because it's their turn. Right, I need to cast spells during my turn. God dang it. Well, I spent all that time thinking about it and then was a bit too silly. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Also, this will allow me to return Lantern to hand if I find it. They chose to dome me instead of themselves. Or instead of the Orc. The Orcish Bowmasters here. I'm still not finding a Lantern of Insight. Jeez. Come on, big rips, big rips. Path of Peril. Well, I mean, I kind of need to cast that. So let's go ahead and do that. This will blow up my Bowmasters and stuff, but it'll also keep their board clear, which is fine, I guess. They have a second Elegant Parlor, right? Yeah, there it is. Kept the card on top. Just gonna exile it with Pyxis. Let's not worry about that. Okay, I am getting really lucky here. I need to hit a Lantern of Insight somewhere, please. Urza Saga, I'll take it. Okay, now I can mill myself 1 time. It's an Overgrown Tomb. And then I can... I don't know, like return... Actually, I can Cling to Dust right now. Draw a card. And I think I will. I'm gonna exile their Flooded Strand. Doop, 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 doop. Exile my creatures. Exile Fatal Push. And a bunch of other stuff that I don't really care about. Wow, and I hit Urza Saga. Jeez. Okay, that's fine. So I am going to take a bit of damage here because of the Seasoned Pyromancer in their graveyard. And because I hit a land. was really trying to find myself a Lantern of Insight. Maybe got a bit too greedy. Just maybe. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, is this haste? Oh, just an Ajani. Okay. They're just trying to get under the Snaring Bridge while they can. That's fair. Okay, I'm going to take 3 here, fall to 13. Found another Urza Saga. That's kind of sucky. Still no Lantern of Insight. I will mill myself once again, just trying to find it. Found a Pithing Needle. All right. I will drop Ensnaring Bridge. And now it's going to be quite difficult for my opponent to win, I think. Because this Lantern of Insight is going to be found off this Urza Saga next turn, so whatever they drew just now has to be a really good rip. Not even going to make the Construct. I probably should have made the Construct, but whatever. Lantern of Insight. What are you doing at the bottom of my deck, mate? Okay, now I just need to make sure that I don't die. Guide of Souls. The Profane Tutor on Suspend right now is most certainly going to be grabbing a discard spell of some sort. Go ahead and push their Ajani here. Just see if there's anything that I can surmise about that last card in their hand before this saga pops. I have enough mill rocks to keep myself safe. I think I want to insulate against some sort of artifact destruction spell. So I am going to do that. Like if their last card in hand is just Wear Tear, then they can, or something like I don't know what they would have, but they could hit the Pithing Needle on Ajani. Fishing the Ajani there means that they can't Legend Rule it to flip it. But I will let them have this Ajani because it is indeed Pithing Needled, and I can still play around Ajani flipping by simply not letting them have access to a way to kill their creature. Okay, and they concede the game. That's fantastic. I don't think I had any right to win that game, but I did, so it's fine. You know, after reading your suggestion in chat, I think I will actually bring in Dreams of Steel and Oil over a Thoughtseize. Underground Mortuary, once again in my hand. I think I have to keep this, though. It's got discard, it's got interaction, it's got an Ensnaring Bridge, it's got Profane Tutor, which is really good. The heroes mulled to 6. They're just on planes, Guide of Souls. I would love to draw land number 3 here. That's not land number 3, that's a Pyxis. I think I'm just going to play Underground Mortuary and I'm going to try and find something good. Second Guide of Souls, those don't interact super favorably with each other. And nothing else, huh? Okay. I'm going to fetch a basic swamp here and just suspend Profane Tutor. I don't think I need to be rushing anything out right now. A land is still the best draw that I could possibly have. Ooh, they surveilled the top, huh? That doesn't make me feel good. Makes me wish I had a Pyxis in play. Because they found a Goblin Bombardment. That's fine, I can just Pithing Needle that. Overgrown Tomb! Yeah! Love to see that. I'm gonna Inquisition them. They have a Wear Tear and a Spyro. Taking the Wear Tear. I think I will pay the 2 life on this Overgrown Tomb, and I'm going to play out Pithing Needle. I'm just gonna name the Goblin Bombardment. This will also give me the opportunity to cast Pyxis if I need to, because they're going to be fetching this Elegant Parlor here. They bend an Ocelot Pride, huh? Yeah, sure. I think I'm going to develop the Pyxis, actually. Because this, Urza Saga that I have coming off Suspend, it could... Or the Profane Tutor I have off of Suspend, it could find a Lantern, and if that happens and I'm not facing enough pressure on board, then I might just, like, Lantern push Profane Tutor if I draw a land or something. They chose to keep the card in hand for Spyro, which tells me that they're wanting the creature, maybe? Oh, no, they just drew a Flage naturally. Sure, you can do that. Sacred Foundry. They have 1 unknown in hand here. Ugh, that's not good. I'm gonna fall to 10. I think this Profane Tutor just has to grab either Lantern or Urza Saga. If it grabs Lantern, then this turn looks like Lantern, Fatal Push your thing. And then, I don't know, cast the thing that I draw off the top of the deck, I guess. If I grab Urza Saga, then this turn looks like Urza Saga, Fatal Push, Profane Tutor. I think I just need the Lantern online right now. The Sage Who Endures was my land for turn. So I'm going to lead off of Lantern on this basic swamp. They have a Flage on top of their deck. That means that I can do this. Still have 1 unknown card in hand. I just have to assume that that's a blank at this point. But just in case it isn't, I think I can suspend Profane Tutor, push the Guide of Souls. I'd fall to 7 off of Flage. Guide of Souls would be able to pump something up. I would fall to 1. This is not great for me. This is not great for me. Yeah, Miyuki, maybe it should have been Saga Bridge Push. problem is that they have 2 energy, so they can just... Oh, I have Pyxis. I can just take them off of Flage. And then hope that they have literally anything else on the top of their deck. I'm going to activate Pyxis because I don't think that I can beat this Flage. Oh my god, it's another Flage. You've got to be kidding me. That is cruel. That is evil. So now okay, let's see what happens if I just play Ensnaring Bridge this turn. If I just play Ensnaring Bridge this turn, then this guy can't attack, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh wait, no, they don't have enough energy for that. So I'd still be taking 3 from Flage, falling to 7. Then they could... If I play Ensnaring Bridge, then they go... cast Flage... put me to 7. That also bumps up both of their Guide of Souls. They get 4 energy, they swing in, they pay enough to put 2 counters on something. I take 1, 3, 4, and then the counters put it up to 6. I would fall to 1 life in total. I would have Fatal Push, Profane Tutor in hand. I'd have Blooming Marsh on top of my deck. I would play Blooming Marsh. They would escape Flage, and I die. If I play Profane Tutor, Fatal Push right now, that is basically the exact same thing, except Ensnaring Bridge is in my hand. I can't afford to take the Flage hit. At least not the additional Flage hit. Well, yeah, you push the big Guide of Souls, Yuki, right? And then you suspend Profane Tutor. You got an Ensnaring Bridge in hand. Flage is coming down the pipeline. So I'm at 10 right now. They use Flage to put me to 7. That triggers their remaining Guide of Soul, so they go up to 3 energy. So I'm at 7. They swing in with all of their creatures. That puts me to 6, 5, 4, 3. Guide of Souls will pump up one of the creatures with 2 counters, put me to 1. But they still have Flage in the graveyard and the 5 cards necessary to escape it. And then what? I need to have exactly... what? The Underworld Cookbook on top of my deck? Or I could Fatal Push this and suspend Profane Tutor. And then pass turn, and then sacrifice Lantern and have them shuffle. And then hope that their next couple of draws do not just blow me out of the water. So this is much the same thing, except now I will fall to 1 still. But I have a land on top of my deck. I have an Ensnaring Bridge in my hand. I have a Profane Tutor coming off suspend next turn. That means that I'm going to be okay because they don't have the ability to cast second Flage. Am I just screwed? Okay, they have a Spyro. They're gonna bin both of these cards. Double Thraben Charm happens. I'm just gonna always yield to the Guide of Souls here. They have another Guide of Souls. Okay, did we thread the needle? Profane Tutor is coming off of suspend. I'm going to cast it. I'm going to grab another Lantern of Insight. Urza Saga, beautiful draw. Love that. Play out Lantern of Insight. Flooded Strand on top of your deck, Codex Shredder on top of mine. Do they have a way to win? No, they do not. All right. Focus time. I'm going to create the construct now, just in case it's relevant. I'm going to play this Codex Shredder. Ocelot Pride, I cannot worry myself with right now. And I just have to treat their hand like it's completely dead. Okay. Focus time. I'm gonna attempt to mill myself into more action. I cannot draw that Thoughtseize. That Thoughtseize will kill me. Find a Meltdown on top of their deck. Urza Saga on top of mine. I'm going to search my deck for a Pyxis here. Okay. The one of Thoughtseize is out of my deck now. Ragavan's gonna have to be okay. I don't think I have time to mess around with Fomori Vault. I just need to focus here. I'm gonna assume that I have this. I'm not messing around with tracking their hand either. We have to assume that their hand is empty. That there's no bad stuff in their hand. Okay, that's fine. And I'm gonna take a little bit of a risk here. That's fine. I cannot activate this land. If I do, I die. If I click this, I die. I'm going to do a little bit of investing. I'm going to draw this Codex Shredder. I'm going to find another Codex Shredder. That's fine. Okay, cast this Codex Shredder. F6. 4 minutes to get through 31 cards. I think I can do it. I need to keep them off of Ocelot Pride at all costs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's an Ajani Nakata Pariah. That was their last card in hand. Okay, that was the last card that I needed to worry about. So now I need to keep them off of ways to kill their own cats. That is a way to kill your own cats. I'm going to exile that Voice of Victory. I am going to just leave it like this. Actually, I'm going to mill one. Okay. Orcish Bowmasters, I'm going to have to cast that. I'm going to target itself. I just don't want the risk. Marsh Flats is in their hand now. Ocelot Pride is a big no-no. I cannot let them have that. Ragavan's going to happen. They're just burning clock. I've already auto-yielded to all of that stuff. I'm going to auto-yield to this dash trigger as well. Get rid of that. Get rid of Clarion Conqueror. Get the heck out of here, Clarion Conqueror. No Wear Tear. And I'm going to get rid of Flooded Strand just for funsies. I don't want another instantly die button on here. But that Flage is no good either. If that Flage goes anywhere other than directly into exile, then I die. Okay, I'm gonna have to be okay with just another instantly lose the game button, just sitting in play. Hero here has 18 cards left in deck. No more Surveil lands, presumably. Ocelot Pride is not acceptable. You may not have that. Ragavan's fine. Monkeys dying does not do not trigger Ajani. It's only cats. And the hero has given up the ghost. I threaded the needle on that matchup. That was... Wow, that was a really tight needle to thread. That was a really, really tight needle to thread. I'm quite proud of that one. Okay, I'm gonna calm my nerves. I'm gonna get myself all sorted, and we're gonna wrap up the league. What an exciting end to this league. This was wild. Orcish Bowmasters actually did a decent job of pulling its weight here, I think. I think that if I'm going to be running back a Black-Green Lantern build, then I actually am going to put Orcish Bowmasters in the list again. It did its job. It pinged down tiny things. It chomp blocked. And we even had a game where it just paired up with Urza Saga and just went all the way. Remember the game 1, match 1 against what was it called? The Storm deck, where it just completely shut off all their metamorphoses and stuff and just made it so that they couldn't really do much. And they had to win that turn or else they died on the crackback. And it was just, and the other one where I paired it up with the Urza Saga and I was able to beat down through all of those Corey Steelcutter tokens. Wow, that's great. This gives the deck an additional angle of attack that I think is pretty good for a base Black Lantern deck, or rather a low splash or a no splash Lantern deck. I really liked it. It was much better than the Surgicals and Extirpates that I was using in the last league for sure. Cling to Dust still on the fence about. I could go either way on that, but dang, did Orcish Bowmasters look really, really, really good. I had a really fun time playing this list. I was just enjoying myself more or less the entire time. And yeah, it was because of Bowmasters, I think. I think that the deck list still needs a little bit of tuning. I think the mana base needs a little bit of work. Underground Mortuary really kind of showing its troubles in this league. I'm not going to lie. It did not look very good this league. It slowed me down quite a bit. I'm probably going to test out cutting that, maybe replacing it with a 7th fetch. Or I could, you know, do something else and drop green completely, perhaps. And just rely on base black, just run a crap ton of basic swamps, maybe some tech lands. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But it seems like it might be pretty decent. So I'm going to go ahead and run something like this back when I can next time. I don't know when my next stream is going to be. It will likely be literally at like 8 a.m. on Christmas morning. I think that is the next time I am available. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I have a whole schedule that my life revolves around, and I need to coordinate with at least like 3 different people in order to get it sorted. So it takes me a little bit to build that out, you know? But golly gee, I had a lot of fun playing this. Thank you to everybody for tuning in today. I really appreciate y'all. Yuki, thank you for tuning in. Great Sky Whale, thank you for tuning in and asking a ton of questions. Kohan, Joshua, y'all have been fantastic. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and did not chat. I appreciate the lurkers who are here. I see you. I don't hear you. That's fine. Just lurk. Just have fun. Throw this on the background. I don't really care. I just appreciate the view regardless. Yeah, I will be back probably next week, even though it is going to be likely on literal Christmas. And Yuki, I will take a look at that. I know pre-modern is really taking off. I know that it's on Magic Online. I have very little interest in playing standard pre-modern decks, or normal pre-modern decks. I think the closest thing that I have found that I would be interested in is a stasis lock deck. I am not particularly fond of how the stasis lock decks are currently constructed. I might want something that is a little bit of a harder lock that features stuff like a root maze. But I don't know. Maybe it would be good enough to just play stasis, play some board wipes, play a bunch of gushes and, you know, stuff like that, and just go off that way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I've got some other stuff that I've got to get sorted. But thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, and I will be back when I can.